Hey folks, today we are going to learn how to rig up some eyes inside Motion Monster. It's pretty important to be able to mask out the pupils of your eyes so they can kind of look wherever they need to look and not cross the boundary of the eye. And so we're going to learn how to do that. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now to start with, you're probably going to be attaching the eye to some part of the face. And to get that eye in place, you probably want some sort of placeholder segment. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my line tool down here, and I'm just going to make a placeholder segment. We'll do more with that in just a second. Next, I need to go ahead and make an eye. So I'm going to grab my circle drawing tool here. By the way, there's more shapes that we can choose from if we click and hold that. But I'm going to just use the ellipse tool right there. I'm going to have fill turned on. And I'm going to make the fill not quite white so we can still see kind of the boundary of it for the sake of this example. In an animation, I would probably make it a little more white than I'm going to right now. Let's go ahead and draw an ellipse. There we go. So I've drawn an ellipse, and now I need to parent that or attach that to the rig here. So I'm going to go back to my move tool, hold down Control and Alt, grab this dot here and attach it to the rig. And so now it is attached. I can move it around and rotate it. Now I need to make the pupil for my eye. Again, I'm going to use the ellipse tool. I'm going to make this one actually black and draw a pupil there. Now I'm not going to attach the pupil directly to the eye. Again, I'm going to use another placeholder segment that's going to give me some freedom with how I position this eye, the pupil in the eye. So I got a placeholder segment. I'm going to go back to my move tool there. I'm going to hold down Control and Alt and rig this to that placeholder segment there. Now right now I can see the placeholder segments, and that's not really useful in an animation. So I'm going to select this segment. Over in the properties, I'm going to change the factor down to 0. That's the scale factor for the width there. I'm going to do the same thing for this placeholder segment. And so now those placeholder segments are literally just that. They're kind of keeping it in place, but we can't see them. They're not doing anything. Next, on this placeholder segment, I want to turn on the one that's attached to the pupil, I want to turn on Don't Rotate Children. The reason for that is I want to be able to move this pupil without it rotating along with that segment there. And then I can also, when I'm moving it, I can use this free button right there, and that's going to give me the freedom to move that wherever I need it to be. But as you can tell right now, the pupil is going outside the area of the eye, and that's where we need to turn on clipping. And so I'm going to select the pupil itself. I'm going to say Clip to Parent, and that's by default going to clip to this placeholder segment, but that's not really useful in this case, and so we need to tell it where to clip to. And so I'm going to select the eye segment right here, this guy right there, and that is going to be the region that it needs to clip to. So I'm going to turn that on as clip region, and now anything that is a child of that eye, the eye is the kind of the parent, and all of these segments are the child of that segment there. Now those will be clipped to it. So if I go back to my move tool and rotate free, now I can rotate, I can move the pupil, and now it's going to get clipped to the eye area. And so that's kind of how we set it up inside Motion Monster. It's a little bit different of a workflow than some other programs, but I think it works pretty nicely for this type of rig. Hopefully this made sense. Please let me know if you have any questions, and hope to see you guys soon.